Yes, hello and welcome to the Any Given Sunday Australia podcast. Officially. How are you doing, mate? You going all right?
Oh, boy, do you want me to do the intro?
I'm good. All right, do we go again?
Yeah,
Let's
go
cut
again.
that.
No, this is the... No, we're not starting again. What T-Mac was trying to say was
Yes.
he was working late last night in a situation that...
No, the night before.
Or was it the night before?
Yeah.
It's not looking good.
No.
But
my death
the
bed.
smoke was a bit more difficult than normal and your throat's a bit raspy today.
I am fine. I'm just very down and sexy with the sexy Dexy kind of voice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
nice.
going
If
with.
you're, gonna,
Joining-
if you're going to have any form of voice, you want
Yeah.
the sexy Dexy voice.
I did. I will say that I was going to introduce us as this is our first official podcast in season 5.
Oh,
And
congratulations,
you picked the
everyone.
one episode where you can't talk.
I can't talk. Yeah. So I can talk.
But a lot of people have said that obviously your biggest influence is Buster Rhymes. So it's great to see you take it after him.
In this episode, we get a lot of questions about why don't we talk about their teams from our fans, from the family. So we're going to talk about all 32 teams. We've got a question on each team, and we're going to run through them quickly. Joining us on the brown couch at Danny Webb, AGSAU. How are you, mate? How's your voice?
I'm stoked for finally doing this. I'm very sick of the at Danny Webb comments being like, talk about us. Why aren't you talking about us? I don't like talking about the Jets. I can't
I was going to
help
say,
it.
is there any specific teams? That
Do you know who hates talking about the Jets? Jets fans. But I look, we do have to, because we're going to get through 32 teams here. So we're going to try to keep it to a minute per team.
If that.
And I say that like I'm the disciplined one here. Like I stick to time. It's just nonsense.
It's got to be like, you're talking to yourself here. You're talking to the mirror.
That's exactly right.
Just
But
give
I
yourself a pep talk.
And also, we should say, we did have a discussion about whether we should have a rule that we don't talk about our own teams. But we made the decision that that doesn't help anyone.
No.
It's better to hear at least some passion and knowledge about some teams in the
None
mix
at all.
here.
Depends on what we normally do.
And then we need to be able to give you shit for it. So
That's exactly right.
if you can't talk about it, how do we give you shit? So let's get into it. First one, well, I think it's alphabetical order. Does that help?
Yeah,
Right.
nice.
The Arizona Cardinals, who's going to be the quarterback? Is it Jacoby Brissett or are they going to bring somebody else in?
Well, I don't know if you know this, but Minshew Mania is on another team again. I said it a long time ago, would have been in season 2 probably, that I thought he was a good enough quarterback to run a franchise.
Was that when he was at the Eagles?
Yes, as a backup, and then I think he went to the Raiders after that. Don't quote me, I'm not a Minshew Mania absolute lover.
And the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Minshew maniac, I believe is the term.
Yeah, it's the official term.
He's been everywhere.
Yeah, he has.
Jags.
Honestly, he's a journeyman.
Steelers, he played a
he a
playoff
Steeler?
for the Steelers, didn't he?
Did he?
Oh,
Oh,
God.
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes.
Now we're getting deep. I said a long time ago that he could run a franchise. Then they gave him an opportunity when he went to the Raiders, and they found out he couldn't. But was that the Raiders O-line? Was it the poor management at the time? Who knows? Is he going to be the Cardinals? He's actually currently taking the QB1 snaps because Jacoby Brissett is still chasing a bag, which I don't know if he's really the QB1 because he was only a backup anyway. You know, he was only backing up Kyle and Murray last year.
Can't begrudge Brissett, though. It's probably his last chance to chase the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
he's gotta
this
get
is
it.
his shot at the bag, and no one's more desperate than the Cardinals.
Yeah, and to be fair, like he was our savior for our 1K club last year.
He was
threw
so good.
so many
He was so
yards.
good.
He was so good at just absolutely slinging it, which makes so much sense when you get a quarterback that's really good at passing the ball and you use your top draft pick to draft a running back.
Yep. So, Charlie's to keep to that 1 minute.
Yeah, look, I agree with everything that
Brissett
you
or
said.
Minshew?
I think
Or
Brissett is the
somebody
most
else.
likely. I think they'd get a deal done, and I think you would. I mean, Arizona, they're not contending. Doesn't Brissett? I think Brissett's going to sell more tickets than Minshew. I think it's literally like it's going to create more excitement. Minshew
Marvin
for me
Harrison wants him.
is funny. Poor Marvin Harrison.
He wants it.
He
He's
wants
throwing the
out.
ball.
But one thing about Minshew is, I don't know, like from my experience watching Minshew play, they've gone from Kyler Murray, whose helmet looks way too big for him, to the other guy in the league whose helmet always looks too big for him. Have you noticed Minshew's helmet? I don't know if he has an oversized helmet, but he looks like a bobblehead.
Yeah,
so
it's not good.
that's the consistency
I
there
reckon-
for the Cardinals.
I
That's
think-
a deep football take. I know ball.
I think if they're going to go with the way that I'm expecting them to, which is to win very little games, they'll end up starting Carson Beck towards the end of the year to see if what they drafted this year was a good enough quarterback to go forward, or are they going to use their number one pick that they're going to eventually get next year to draft a good QB?
Ooh, hot take already. I like it. Atlanta Falcons, is Penix in trouble?
Well, so what we're talking about, Penix versus Tua here, really, aren't we? I'm going to say yes. I think Tua needed to get out of Miami. Hopefully he's learned not to rush with his head first and protect that brain because he has had far too many concussions at this point. I do think Michael Penix is in trouble, because we even saw last year when he was struggling a little bit. They ended up putting Kirk back in for a bit, then they played Penix, then they played Kirk. They're not sold on Penix. So now they're bringing in another QB. Tua's not going to take like QB2 snaps. It ain't going to happen. So yeah, 100% he's in trouble.
I agree. If you are the Falcons and you actually want to win a few games, Tua is the obvious choice. I don't think he's a long-term franchise QB. I think the deal Miami gave him was properly insane. Like he never played at the level that deserved that deal. But if you're the Falcons, he is your best chance to win. I think that's safe to say.
Baltimore Ravens. How long do we expect Lamar Jackson to stay and be happy when they're not winning? Really, they win to a point and then they lose.
We spoke about this in the last episode. I do think Baltimore are probably going to turn it around a little bit this year. I think they're going to be more successful. New coach, all of that. Like, you're going to get that new coach bump, at least for the first couple of games. And I don't think they're going to start with as much of a struggle as it had to start last season. So as long as Lamar's winning and getting to playoffs, I don't think he should leave, because I think sometimes the problems when they are in the playoffs is actually Lamar. It's not necessarily the team as a whole. So if he leaves, is he going to get a better situation than what he's currently in? I don't think so.
I think that may be right, but I'm less confident about the Ravens this year than Danny is. I think there's a chance they have a season kind of similar to last year. Like last year, they were nearly, making the wild card. They were touch and go there. I think that's where they're going to end up. I'm not confident they're going to get back, and I reckon it may be less up to Lamar than it is the Ravens. Because just imagine if you were putting a package together, what would you offer for Lamar Jackson? That'd be a really good package. And the Ravens, if they decide that, and you remember his injury designation changed week to week, like what was injured when he was sitting out, and yet things weren't going great with Harbaugh, and maybe, he loves the new regime and that works really well. But if it doesn't work out, and he's not a guy that can get it done in the playoffs, the Ravens are really well set up in so many other ways. They've got a great roster, and you could get a lot for. I mean, how much could you get for Lamar Jackson? You can get two firsts for Myles Garrett.
Yeah, 2 firsts and then some.
2 firsts and probably
swapping a quarterback.
Probably throw in a punt returner as well in the deal.
Just see Gardner Minshew come back with the deal as well.
That's right.
We need Putney.
Putney, that's right. That's what, I can't believe I didn't remember Putney's name. I was thinking Pupkin, but that's like the king of comedy, the De Niro movie. But anyway, it's all right.
It's a bit old for us.
Yeah, straight over the head.
Straight to the Bills.
Guys, some things happened before you were born.
Yeah, that's it. A couple of world wars, all those stuff. Buffalo Bills, is DJ Moore the receiver that Josh Allen needs?
Yeah, I think so. All signs point to yes at the moment. I think the problems he was having last season, he had one down season with the Bears, and that was definitely a chemistry issue with Williams. Everything I've seen is that they're connecting and they're getting on the same page, and he has the right attitude. He's got a really good work ethic, and I think what he does is he opens everything up. Like he just having that target that's going to, because the Bills, they didn't have a target that you had to cover previously, and it is going to open things up. And, I think it's going to make life better for the other receivers as well. I think the receiver room issue is not the issue at the Bills.
We didn't even have to use our buzzer then.
Nah, it was getting close.
Yeah,
it was getting close.
Do you know how close I was to going? Meanwhile, on defense, but
I think the Bills, what their issue, which we spoke about, could potentially be their strength last year, was they tried to do it by committee, which is great. Like if you don't know who, as a defense, if you don't know who you have to cover, well, then you can scheme so much better offense for that. Like, because everything's coming at you as a surprise. The issue is the surprise never actually kind of went off because there wasn't enough going for in the receiver room.
Yeah, I think the two people that are going to benefit from this are Keon Coleman, who last year had too much pressure on him for a young player to be wide receiver one when that's not who he was, but because that standout wasn't there. I think he made great plays last year, and I think he's got an opportunity. And Dalton Kincaid, if he stays healthy, He is between a tight end and a wide receiver. He can actually go deep. He's an incredible route runner. I think he has a chance to go off because the opposition are going to be covering DJ Moore down the field, and it really opens it up for a big tight end like that.
And then,
yeah,
for sure. Panthers, Charlie, stay with you. Can Bryce level up again? He obviously went up in the last 6-8 weeks of last season. He really stepped up his game.
I think he can. I'm a Bryce stan. Like I think what he achieved last year, and I think it's not just what he achieved on the field. What he achieved in a situation where there has been so much doubt on him, like psychologically, for him to weather that storm, like he was getting benched for all manner of other QBs, and it was clear that they did not believe in him. But when he got the opportunity again, he got them further than they've been in years. And you would have to say that experience is the kind of experience he needed to say, I can do this. And like, imagine that confidence he had at the end of the year, starting the season with that. I think they can really build. And I think the Panthers can be more ambitious with what they think the offense can achieve.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Like, I feel like this, to end the season, Bryce really showed that he was worth the pick that the Panthers, put faith in him for. And it took a long time to get there, and hopefully he just continues to build from the start of this season, because we need some excitement in that division.
Yeah, we don't want to wait until week 10 or 12 to start this. It has to be from the start.
Controversial question for both of you without notice. Going back to that draft, who would you rather have as your QB, CJ Stroud or Bryce?
CJ Stroud started so strong and then really he's disappeared.
That's what I'm asking. That's why that's a great question.
You know what I'm going to say?
Defense won it for the Texans last.
That's right.
100%. It was all defense. Give me Bryce Young. And I never thought I'd say that. Like, you take me back to that draft, there was no way I was ever saying that I was going to take Bryce Young over CJ Stroud. Not even 2 years ago, But the way that he finished the season, I've got more confidence in Bryce Young than I do CJ Stroud.
It's interesting. Do you know what the difference between the two of them at this stage, other than how they were playing last year, is adversity. CJ Stroud, dream first season, named himself in the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. That is a quote that will not go away. Since then, he has had adversity and he has not met the challenge. Whereas Bryce has had nothing but adversity, met the challenge and overcome it. Who do you want with the game on the line, 2 minutes to play, leading a drive? I want the guy who knows he can overcome the hardship.
Yeah. All right, this year definitely, if not puts it to bed, we'll go a long way between the two of them, however they go, because they're both in good situations now. Like, Houston's in a great situation, but you think Bryce could turn it around? I think he's definitely got some upside. This one's an interesting one, and it's about the Bears, of course. And I like this question because everyone's, Caleb's now the Madden 27 cover and all that kind of stuff, and it's all because of what he does late in games. Can Caleb improve the boring side of the game?
He's got to, right? If we're thinking that Chicago are going to be as competitive as they are in a tough division in the NFC North, like, they were really there or thereabouts, but so many of those games went down to final plays and these jump passes that Caleb's doing, incredible to watch. Don't get me wrong, it is highlight football at its best. But you don't want to be in that situation. And the way that you're not in that situation is being better at that boring football. And that's really what he needs to be working on. And I hope this whole Madden cover thing doesn't go to his head, because he's on there before some really big names and before he's really been that successful at this point. There's been a few QBs that were on the cover early and went on, Patrick Mahomes was on super early, but he was a superstar of the league. I don't think Caleb Williams is at that level yet. So
a Super Bowl.
I think he'd already won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he'd won a Super Bowl. I think you can be on the Madden cover if you won a Super Bowl.
MVP in a Super Bowl. Yeah. It's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
He's the lowest rated Madden cover, Madden rating, since Michael Vick in 1996. But Michael Vick was a star out of college.
Michael Vick was the biggest thing in sports at the time.
So, and he's still possibly rated in the 80s, according to the game, and they put him on it.
Yeah, well,
so will he learn how to manage the game early, and will he raise his Madden rating? Those are the big questions for this season.
I think he needs to, is the answer, in short.
Can he?
Yeah, I think he can. I think you have to put some good faith in the coaching there. That they made huge strides in his game, but also that offense improved significantly this year. But it is a tough way to make a living, winning it, coming from behind, those, winning it in the dying plays with highlights. That is the hardest possible way And if that becomes a habit of a team, if you're the team that's great from coming from behind, yeah, that's great. That says a lot about you. But if it's your
Says a lot
only
about
thing,
you as well, that
if
you
it's
are
your
always
only
behind.
thing, then that is a tough way to make a living, and you will start to have those games where it doesn't happen, and that gets in your head. So, I think it's a precarious position that he's at. I think it's possible, but there's no guarantees. And if they don't, it's going to be a really long season for the Bears in what I think could be a more competitive division this year.
We saw that with the Chiefs last year. The year before, 10-1 in one-score games. Last year, 1-10.
Yeah.
In a completely different season. So, and I dare say Mahomes is a better quarterback. So
Controversial. Is he a better cover photo on Madden?
He doesn't have the Chicago skyline in the background.
Yeah.
All those
He did the
That is a
first
great cover. It is a great cover.
It's the first one with Tom Brady, though, so that was a pretty good one for Mahomes.
Yeah, 100%. But speaking about the cover, I know we've spoken about the Bears for far too long, but
The next one will be quick, don't worry.
they've put him in front of the Chicago skyline, but they're potentially playing in Indiana.
Ooh,
Like,
That's a very good
What's the
point.
Indiana skyline like?
Well, actually,
It's got
technically,
a cult in it.
where they are in Indiana is actually
Right at the very top.
It's closer.
It's right. It's close to Chicago.
It's
yeah.
closer to Chicago than the Illinois spot that they've picked, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's actually Anyway,
This one should be quick. Can Joe Burrow stay healthy?
I don't think so.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, Tiff, and all the other Bengals fans
Yeah,
out there. He is.
It's a year for them to go, though. They've beefed up their defense.
100%. And but imagine beefing up your defense for your QB too.
It's yeah. I mean,
Who is it?
I'd love to see him stay healthy. Apart from the fact that the Bills have to play him this year, I'm pretty sure. But I'd love to see Burrow stay healthy and see what he can do with a full season.
I think he could be a runaway MVP if he stayed healthy the whole year.
100%.
He could. His stats
But he's got-
could
also
be
got-
bananas.
Two of the best wide receivers, could be incredible.
Yeah, I think there's a big. I think the question is sort of how long all that stays together at the Bengals. Do you know what I mean? Like
Or was that to start paying their defense?
that's exactly right. And he is the reason they've overpaid on offense. And I think they've got a 1A and a one capital A and a one lowercase a. You know, they're what he's throwing to is insane. But that was his choice, and the overall operation has suffered as a result of it. And how long can you maintain that? And if he gets injured again, that's a very expensive offense. That's it's a Rolls Royce, but you've got a Honda Jazz engine in it most of the time.
It's hard because this is their year. They have gone all in on their defense. This is their year that Joey B does need to stay healthy, and I think that would also put a lot of pressure on him to go out and do these massive plays. He's not going to be playing safe because he knows this is his year, which then you're potentially putting yourself at a higher risk of getting injured. It's just it's the biggest concern with Joey B, and it will be probably forever that he managed to stay healthy for an entire season.
Wasn't as quick as I thought. Same question every year for the Browns. What's going on at quarterback? Who's starting? Let's go with that. Who's starting? Let's keep this one quick.
It's a really good question. Is Sanders the front runner, do you think?
Oh, it's either him or Deshaun, surely. I don't think. I can't even think who the other one was. The one out of Oregon.
Gabriel Dillon.
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel.
The other way around.
Yeah.
See, that's
Nighttime, Gabrielle Dillon.
Well, and his number got taken off him as well because Jared Verse went there and won number 8 and pinched
V8, great nickname. Too.
Yeah, huge nickname, especially for,
I
for us
reckon-
supercars lovers. You know what I mean? So you can't have your QB1 just give up your number to a defensive player. I know he's Jared Verse and he's going to be worth having the number, but that's not your QB1, is it? That's just not how it works.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, so I'm going to take Sanders just because I don't like Deshaun Watson as a human being.
Yeah, but I also think Sanders is more likely just because he started last season. It's simple as that.
Be a bit stiff to finish the way he finished and then say, oh, by the way, you're not starting.
Yeah.
It does happen.
But as we've seen,
It's the Browns.
could be proven. Yeah, it's the Browns.
said right up
Jared
the
Verse
Browns
could
last
end up
week.
quarterback. The way they're going. But I like Sanders has a ceiling. It is. He doesn't.
Not.
Well, I mean, just he's in a basement as far as I'm concerned. But he has a ceiling. He will improve with more game time, absolutely. But they are a long way from having a starting quarterback.
Yes. We're about 12 weeks somewhere from having a start.
Yeah.
We'll see what
It's
happens.
a big concern.
Dallas Cowboys, can Dak finally get some playoff wins?
No. I'm going to keep that one short.
Yeah, what has changed enough to make that possible? Don't get me wrong. I think Dak was one of the best players to watch in the league last year. He had a great season, and
Especially where they started, and then it was just no pressure.
Yeah.
Go out and play, and they turn it on.
And it is a delight to watch him play. And they've got some playmakers, but there's no reason to think that team has changed enough that they can contend, particularly in the in the
Giants.
East.
They've got to beat the Giants now.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
The-
The division's just getting stronger because now the Giants are competitive. The Commanders a couple of years ago weren't competitive whatsoever before they built around Jalen Daniels. Now they are. And then the Eagles are still there or thereabouts. So, it's a very, very tough division that you're playing all those teams twice as well. And, exactly what you're saying, Charlie, when I said no really quickly, it's not Dak's fault that he's not having playoff wins. Dak is an incredible QB. It's just Jerry Jones hasn't built a team around him that he deserves.
You go great in Arizona.
Well,
Can you imagine him throwing
Marvin
Marvin
Harrison
Harrison Jr.?
Jr., yeah,
That'd change things. How's that blockbuster trade? Jera's not going to do
Who
that.
said no? Who said no?
Yeah,
Jerry.
Jera.
To everything.
Well, no,
Denver
hang on a minute.
Broncos. Does Jalen Waddle elevate Bo Nix to the next level?
So I don't think Bo Nix needs to be classed as being elevated to the next level. He is almost there already, And if he didn't go down with that injury in the playoffs this year,
Have you seen his ankle? Looks terrible. I don't know who the doctor was. They've done a bad job.
no, I've not seen it.
Doesn't look good. I'll show you a photo
Looks like an
later.
elbow.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. So the Broncos really were one injury away from actually making it probably to the Super Bowl. Let's not talk about how the Bills game ended. Let's keep Charlie's blood from boiling.
Spoken
Well,
about the Bills.
I'm not convinced that they were better than the Patriots. I don't think that was a guaranteed win for them at all. That would have been a competitive game.
Yeah,
It
but
would've
with
been more competitive than what it was.
Yeah, shit.
but then to answer the T-Max question, with Waddle being there, would that make the difference?
Yeah, I think it could. I mean, Waddle is a great wide receiver, and we've never seen Waddle just as the wide receiver one with the opportunity to get everything. He was in a very sweet position where you had Tyreek Hill as the main threat, which let Waddle's run after catch history at the Dolphins was insane. But he is a great receiver, and he'll relish this opportunity. He'll improve Bo Nix, but as far as going to the next level, I still don't know if Bo Nix is a next level
Not sold
quarterback.
on the Bo Kane.
No, but that's just based on I've seen big games where it hasn't been Bo Nix that's won the game, and I've seen him
Having a
struggle.
good defense definitely helps.
Yeah,
Helps everyone. The Detroit Lions. Does the new offensive coordinator, Drew Petzing, great one to say when you got a bit of a sore throat, get Jared Goff back to 2024 levels? Real slide last year.
It was a bit of a slide.
They've lost
Oh,
Sonic instead of the other one.
Knuckles.
Yeah, the way. Does he get back?
I don't think the Lions are going to get back to that 2024.
They've got a lot easier schedule.
team.
They finished last in the division.
Yeah,
Remember that?
I don't.
I've got them winning the division.
It's tough for me. I think that 2024 team was actually really special.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of that came with the momentum of having those games and having those wins. Yes, okay, they've got an easier schedule, but does that mean they're going to be tried and tested by the time it comes to playoff time? Or, you know what I mean? Are we going to see them have a cruisy run into the playoffs and then kind of struggle once they actually get there? I don't think the OC is really going to be the answer. I feel like Jared Goff really needs to go back to believing in himself. And like you said, Sonic and Knuckles have been separated now, so you don't have that two-headed beast. So it's easy to plan for the defenses.
And how often do we see new OC and it doesn't quite? It was them as well, wasn't it? Last year, it just didn't quite work.
Yeah, and
We saw it with Philly. We've seen it time and time again.
any time you see it, it's any team that's successful, and then they lose their OC, the team obviously goes down a little bit. And then if you're constantly changing your OCs, your offense never clicks again, which is really, really tough. You want to have consistency in that coaching position.
Do you
I
see
think
them
it's a good
getting-
point. I think you might be right. But that is to answer the question. We don't know. It could be that this is the OC that it does click. I do think Jared Goff is still an outstanding quarterback, and we've seen him get it done. He's got great temperament. He's a clutch QB when he has to be. He makes great plays. He's beautiful. He can really throw the ball. If it clicks, it'll be great. I think the observation with the Lions for me is they've gone from an absolute train wreck of a franchise, done the hard work, not cut any corners, and built themselves up. That 24 team, insanely good, without injuries, probably winning the Super Bowl.
For sure.
But what we see now is they are a proper franchise that might spend 2 or 3 years finding the right OC, but they don't lose their floor. It doesn't drop. And I think that's what I like about the Lions is they've turned themselves into a professional outfit. That's kind of the big thing. That's the Dan Campbell influence. That's their whole approach, which was they took their medicine, they made smart trades, and they've built themselves properly. Homegrown. So I have faith in the Lions that, okay, maybe it is bumpy this year, maybe it clicks and goes well, but I just like the fact that they are a solid team that you're going to watch every game that they play. They are not what they were before, which was a sacrificial lamb on Thanksgiving every year because they're a big media market. You're going to watch them compete, I'd still be very positive if I was a Lions fan,
especially because of their schedule. They finished 4th. Let's remember that. It was a smart decision to lose that last game. Green Bay. So Jordan Love last year posted his best QBR and passer rating as his 3 years as a starter. Is there more pressure than ever on Jordan Love?
I think so. I think we're getting to the point now that if you're not making a deep run, I say you, as the Packers, because you represent them as an owner.
I am, correct.
I feel like if Jordan Love doesn't make a deep impact in the playoffs now, the questions has to start to be raised if it was the right decision to keep Love for as long as you have him work under Rodgers for so long and then for him to come out. And I don't think there's been any time where I've been wow, absolutely amazed. I know you're saying that his stats are improving, but I'm never Love really took over that game and absolutely won that. I feel like you win by team, and that's your offense and defense has always been there or thereabouts. It's very much a team win game. It's never Love has taken over this game and won it. I feel like we need to see that from Love.
Yeah, I think that's very astute. I think you possibly know the Packers better than team. No. So,
Sorry, sore
that
throat.
really sore throat.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I think you're right. I think everyone would be happy to admit he surpassed expectation. When he first came out and played, and it was it turns out they did draft a really great QB and sat him behind Rodgers, and they're very fortunate to have him. But yeah, he's got to win those big games. And also, the story of the Packers last year, the Parsons injury was a big deal. But before that, there was failure in some games by the Packers that shouldn't have happened. There were some games that were closer that shouldn't have. There was a drawn game that should never have happened. And that, I think, you have to look at Love and go, what was he doing? How was he leading that team to victory, which is what your quarterback has to do. In those games where it's not going right, I don't think we've seen him put the team on his back and get it done. And I think he needs that. It's not just about a deep playoff run. It's early in the season when you're trying to hit a rhythm. I would say that he carried a fair amount of responsibility for some of those really disappointing games where you were apoplectic afterwards.
I love it. You really stare at me.
Yeah.
That's good. Hit me right between the soul.
Windows
I know
to the
you can't
soul.
talk much. What's your thoughts on it?
I think we've said it every year. It's a big year. I do think he's had a few of those moments, like early on last year when we beat the Lions. Yes, it was all about Micah Parsons, but I think he played a lot better than he has in the past, hence the numbers that he's had. And he missed 2 games with injury. He's probably another one that's been a little bit injury prone. Some injuries that he's come back from, but it's still hampered him. So let's get him through a healthy preseason and Joey Burrow type healthy season, and then look, we'll see what happens. I think we do have the roster. We're not going to get Parsons back for probably week 5, 6, 7 maybe, but we've got a good back end. I didn't say this last week. We play, I think it's 4 of our last 6 games in Green Bay.
which is a huge help.
Yeah.
So
Particularly if Parsons is coming back well, by that point in the season, he should be firing. To add an extra 30 seconds to Green Bay, I think there could be extra pressure on Jordan Love, the Josh Jacobs situation, which we haven't talked about a lot, but he's facing criminal charges, some really serious things that have been alleged. Who knows what the NFL's response is going to be to that? But we do know that they've taken these sorts of allegations seriously in the past, and I think there'll be pressure on them to do more. You know, like I don't think they can turn a blind eye to what's happened. Now, he was so important to that offense working. And I think if you
we've said about all running backs now.
Yeah, but he proved that he is one of those elite running backs that is a game changer. That there'll be games where it was a Josh Jacobs game and he won it.
Yeah.
And Love didn't have to ascend to any great level. So without that piece, you know, if it's the first 6 weeks, if it's the first 6 weeks of the season, though, you know, like which we've seen that this 6 week penalty seems like a bit consistent. You know, we saw the Chiefs, you know, 6 week penalties over there was it Rice? Rashee Rice was 6 weeks, I think.
Yeah, the first 6.
Yeah, and so I reckon that
was PEDs, wasn't it? So that was
it was wasn't Rashee Rice the.
No, he was in prison. But
But it was for the
I thought he was
the car
was open, wasn't it?
yeah, I thought he got done. Yeah, wasn't it 4 weeks for PEDs?
No, was it? Because I thought he
Now
then
he's
got
in prison.
I thought he got a suspension for the car accident.
Now he's in prison. For
And now he's in prison because he tested positive to marijuana while on parole.
That's right.
And that was a breach of it was a breach of his parole conditions, and that's why he's incarcerated.
Correct.
My law degree just paid off. So what I'd say is, all right, let's say you don't have Josh Jacobs for 6 weeks, and you don't have Micah Parsons for 6 weeks. Where are you at week 6? What has Jordan Love done in that time where he struggled last year, at the start of the season, where he's very patchy?
Probably 6-0.
Well, like, there's no point of you having 5 out of your 6 last games at home if you don't win your first 5.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right, that was a long minute. This one,
But we really enjoyed it.
funnily enough, this one works really well. Can CJ Stroud play his way into a contract extension?
He needs to do so much more than what he did last year. And, like, I'm sorry, Texan fans, he really did struggle, and we saw it time and time again in big moments. I was like, what is he doing? Like, the defense carried the Texans to exactly where they were. And then as soon as the game was on the line and it was in CJ Stroud's hand, he made some, like, really, really poor decisions. So if he plays like that again this year, no, he's not playing his way into a contract extension. Someone else will pick him up, maybe the Cardinals.
I was going to say Cardinals.
All the Browns.
All the Browns. You know, so he's not going to
How
not
many
have
QBs can you have on the
well, another 6, I think, for the Browns. I think he needs to go back to like his rookie year level of confidence and like playing at a really, really strong offensive level. I don't know what's been going on with him. Who knows? I think he has the ability to get back there. I don't think it's lost, and it's like there's no line in the sand. Complete possibility he gets back there, but he needs to find his way back there, and I'm not too sure how he does that.
His receiver room should be better to start the season than it was. Like they've had some injuries through his receiver room. Some of his favourite receivers, he was, reportedly, crying when losing his receivers, and looking at his stats after that happened. Yeah, I'd be crying too. I think there's every chance he doesn't get a contract from the Texans, because the Texans are another organisation that you would say has gone about things the right way. They have built a defense that scares everyone, and they have a defense that should get them to a deep playoff run just on the defense. Now, if you had that and your quarterback wasn't cutting it, you would cut bait. You absolutely would. And they could get something for him in trade. Like you say, the Cardinals or the Browns would absolutely love to have CJ Stroud compared to what they've got. But I don't think they would be inclined to feel such a loyalty that they give him a contract if he hasn't proven it. And I think there's every chance he doesn't. Because just on the number of seasons, he's had one great season and then not.
Yes. And he's up for a contract at the end of this year. So, Indianapolis Bears, have they made the right decision to bring back Daniel Jones? Obviously the Colts, not the Bears.
Yeah, I think Danny Jones, Indiana Jones, really proved himself last year, and then it was an injury late where everything kind of went downhill for the Colts. But it was the first time since like the whole Anthony Richardson era, which obviously failed, didn't really work. And then they brought in Daniel Jones.
He's still there.
Huh?
Richardson's still there.
Yeah, I know.
His era's not done yet. Sorry, go on.
He's no longer the QB one, so in my eyes, the era is done. But so when they brought in Daniel Jones, he obviously needed that break from New York, and it was a perfect fit. And then the Colts were then now competitive again, and we saw everything fire on all cylinders. I think they're 100% doing the right thing, keeping him around.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's earned it. His injuries are bad, and he's not old. You know, like he's not old. Like he's a veteran, but he's not at the.
Was his Achilles as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then, like you see, like Rodgers and Cousins coming back from it, they've got years on him.
Yeah, that's exactly
they
right.
Are old.
They are old men. So he should come back better. The thing was, he was scrambling well. You know, that's going to take some time to get back. If he's got the actual lift off the ankle, we'll see how we go.
He's got not a bad running back to take a bit of pressure.
But that's exactly right. I was going to say, also provided Jonathan Taylor stays healthy. Like he's had one big injury, but apart from that, he's been flawless.
God, he was dominant last year.
Yeah, he was amazing last year. So I would say, provided that situation holds, and you've got that to lean on while Daniel Jones plays back into some fitness and form, I think they've absolutely made the right decision. Because you'd think about, for the first 6-8 weeks of the season, we were all talking about, wow, the Colts are the team. You know, like they were the team that everyone was talking about. Like, what have the Colts done? They're a good football program. And the wheels fell off in a number of ways, and that, you know, it was unsustainable. I think they had a Daniel Jones injury problem, and I don't think they evolved over the season. I don't think they, like, you can start a team.
Work them out.
That's right. You can start a season well. You got to change it up. You got to self-scout. Your bye has to mean something, and you got to come out with a bunch of tricks that your opponents don't expect. I don't think they did that, but they're going in the right direction. Definitely, the Colts.
Jags, in a lot of years, they've had no real expectations or pressure. Obviously, hit a home run hiring Liam Cohen last year and finishing off 5th in the MVP. What does this year look like for the Jags? What's a fail? What's a pass?
They've just got to be there or thereabouts. I think they can drop a couple more games than what they did the previous year, because I think teams are
13-4 they finished.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up with a 12 or an 11 win season coming. 100% it's going to be above 500. I've got no doubt in that. I think Liam Cohen came in, really figured out the team. Trevor Lawrence was finally playing, like you're saying, almost MVP level football. Like, to turn that team around from, you know, the complete opposite win-loss record to exactly what it was incredible. But to keep that consistency, that's a whole nother kettle of fish. The NFL is very, very smart with its scheduling, and they figure it out, and they make them play harder teams if they're a better team. It's the NFL. It's how it works. So for them to be able to do that back-to-back, it's going to be tough, but I think they would have built enough to be there or thereabouts.
Yeah, they'll be back. They'll be wild card contenders again. I think they've got a bit more competition in their division than they did last year. I think, you know, the other boats are rising. Trevor Lawrence definitely made the grade. Like, he was playing the kind of football that justified the hype when he was drafted. That offense, everyone was talking about how good it was. But do you remember the last play of the season? Do you remember Trevor Lawrence's last play of the season? I do, for a reason, obviously.
Did he fall over or something?
No, he was intercepted. It was game on the line, wild card round against the Bills, and he was intercepted, and he got absolutely just. It was a great coaching decision, and he didn't see it, and it was a mental error. What does he do with that? What, you know, is that a ghost that haunts him, or does he learn from it and go, all right, we're going to go further this time around? That's the big question about them. You know, they had one of the biggest playoff comebacks ever against the Chargers, and then the wheels fell off the next season. And then this time around, they came in, they were red hot coming into the wild card round. Everyone was saying they were the form team heading into wild card, and it didn't happen for them. When they came up against big teams in those big games, can they go further? That's the big question for them.
Kansas, when do you think we see Patrick Mahomes, and what does he come back like?
He's already looking good. And I hate saying this because, like, we're still, 12 weeks out and we've seen him on the field. Yeah, okay, he's not in full pads, but he's throwing the ball. His ability to move and his leg work is still 100% there. For someone coming off such a serious injury like he has, to then turn around this quick and to be already on the field, it is scary. I don't think they're going to put him out probably in week 1 or week 2, but if he's good to go by week 3 and 4,
They got an early bye. I think like week 5 bye.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him once before the bye. So if, let's say they got a week 5 bye, we see him in game 4, then he can have a week off, have a rest, make sure he's feeling okay, and then back for week 6. But I can't see Justin Fields being out there for too long.
Yeah, I think they're fortunate to have Justin Fields as an option though to start. Like he is a good enough QB that he can buy you a week or two at the start of the season to make sure you're not taking risks with Mahomes. But I think what we've seen with Mahomes in the past is, earlier in his career he used his legs a lot, and then over time the legs became
the ankle got stuffed.
That's right, the ankle got stuffed. But it did become for their team a in case of emergency, or it was a surprise. It wasn't a thing that they leaned on so much. And he's a great, he always was great at throwing the ball, but really became such a good pocket passer. And so he can come back and not be mobile and still be really effective. He could even, I do think there's a chance he starts. Like if he's feeling good, how are you going to keep Mahomes off the field? He's a competitor.
He's a competitor. And
if he is feeling good and they can ease off his legs, until they get to that bye. But I also think my big prediction is the classic Mahomes of pretending he still can't move, and then all of a sudden he's going to do a 40-yard run in his first game back. A bit like James Brown pretending to collapse on stage, and they throw the cape over him and then help him up again. Yeah. He was a singer before you guys were born. Yeah. But
I know James Brown.
Yeah, but he
was on The Simpsons once.
Yeah, but I think that's the moment that is going to happen, and I think it happens sooner than everyone reckons. The guy who we think is still recovering from this injury goes on a long run and breaks a game open. I think that's going to happen sooner rather than later. I think there's every chance he starts game 1.
Denver Broncos game 1. Good start. Now, I'm making an executive decision because our 1 minutes are blown out. So we're going to go with the Vegas Raiders and finish off. And then we're going to go double down next week and have the same thing.
That's probably wise.
It's probably smart. Yeah, we've been going for 40-odd minutes already. People are getting bored. Vegas, when does Mendoza start?
Well, yeah, so they brought in Kirk Cousins on purpose to, have a little stopgap until Mendoza's ready. They've done a lot to try and build this team to be a better team, but I still can't see them having the leap that they want. I think that might be coming, maybe in 2027 or 28. I think they might actually start looking competitive again. Like, they're getting there. They've got the building blocks there, like, Genty and Brock Bowers and all that sort of stuff. They're getting closer to being a plus 500 team. I don't think they're quite there yet. So I'm going to say that Kirk plays the first half of the season and they've got a losing record. Then after that, Mendoza's going to step in and they'll continue to have a losing record.
But under a different quarterback.
Under a different QB.
Yeah, I think that's the most likely scenario. I agree, Danny. You really know football. But but I would say, what if they're 500 halfway through the season?
There's a big what ifs.
But but if they, Kirk Cousins is a step up at quarterback for them. They've got some good pieces now. They went shopping in the off season. Like, they spent more than anyone else. They really used their opportunities, and that is a very different roster to last season. So if they're around 500 midway, do they just... Kirk Cousins doesn't want to give up that spot. Kirk Cousins isn't there to be an educator. He'll be delightful. He will be an educator. He'll be educational. But he wants to play a whole season. He's QB1. And I think that could be the difficult thing. Like, if they have a losing record midway, yeah, Mendoza comes in and that's it. But if they're 500 or better, I think that's going to be a really annoying, perpetual story week after week. When's Mendoza starting? Because Cousins has managed to win games by a couple of points here and there.
Do you know what Mendoza's done for his self-proclaimed nickname? He's gone with the Nando Lorian.
Oh, no.
And I was like trying to figure out, I was like, Mendoza, but it's from Fernando. Who gives themselves a nickname from their first name? Fernando Lorian. Also, Disney are talking about potentially suing him for it because they've trademarked everything to do with the Mandalorian. And, like, you know, Disney, ESPN, like, it's all still somehow related. But he's gone with the Nando Lorian. So you're saying we got Kirko Change versus the Nando Lorian.
Yeah, but will the Nando's chicken sponsorship outweigh the lawsuit from Disney? I think Disney's going to win this one.
All right, I'm going to say let's go week 8. I've got their schedule up. Dolphins, win. Chargers, loss. Saints.
Tyler Shark. We're going to get to him next week.
Chiefs,
Yeah, Chiefs will win.
New England,
They're going to win.
Bills,
Bills will win.
Rams,
Rams will win.
Jets.
Who was the last one?
Jets. So they could
Okay,
be
they can have
5 and 2.
2 and 6.
2 and 6.
2 and 6.
2 and 6. Mendoza starts.
Go with the Nando Lorian.
So, yeah, maybe. Yeah, they might be in trouble. We're going to stop it there.
I think that's wise.
Smart
But well
move.
done. This has been good.
Yeah, a minute per person.
Between the three of us.
Charlie, always make sure that you like, follow, subscribe.
You say that every week. I already
It helps
have.
us. Well, maybe you're not.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Make sure you create a few more things. Are we back to commenting yet or not?
No, give it another week.
Give it another week. Give it another week before we comment. I'll be back better, I promise. Might have a few more things to say when we get to the Eagles and things like that. But football's not far away, boys.
Exciting.
How good. Football is back.
Mandatory
12 weeks.
minicamp. Mandatory minicamp. Nothing more
OTAs.
exciting than
OTAs.
mandatory minicamp.
See you next week.
Go football.